Okay, I'm back on this segment. You know, it's just like I was telling people that the story I love telling is about Star Wars and the great Star Wars movies. And if you remember, it's really part 5, which is part 3. It's hard to explain. But in one of the Star Wars where Mark Hamill was playing Luke Skywalker, he was fighting his father, Darth Vader. And almost toward the end of the movie, you know, Darth Vader said, "Dude, I am your father." And you know, Luke Skywalker got his hand cut off and whatnot. And to make a long story short, he was running the risk of becoming like his father and going to the dark side. Let me say that again. That story is all through mythology and history, where the liberator becomes the bad guy. It's just like I like Fidel Castro. You know, he's a liberator. It's pretty cool. But then again, you know, he was running the country. He didn't want to really step down until he got a little older and let it give it to his brother. So I have trouble with that. I have trouble with, you know, because I'm born and raised in America where they had a new president every 8 years in my lifetime. They always had a new president. A lot of cities, not in Chicago. We need term limits in Chicago, but a lot of cities and towns have term limits. We need term limits in the Congress too. That's another story. Let me get out of the politics. We do need term limits. So you see a new president every 8 years. So, you know, when you have a leader 10 and 12 and 20 years, 10 years is enough. But anything over 10 years is not good. Now you're going to cult status. You're going, I don't like that. I really don't. So what happened is that a lot of people are very afraid. Black nationalists, a few other people you may know, that they're against the system. Rage against the machine, against everybody. But really, one of the fears is that when they do become the leader, when they do become in charge, when they overthrow the king, take over the country, they run the risk of being just as oppressive as the people they kicked out. Does that make sense? So a lot of people who, and I was one of them, I'm breaking out of it. That's why we changed the show a little bit. I said so many mean things of Oprah over the years and rich people in general and politicians. And I know people say, "Mark, stop it, stop it." I just couldn't. When I was much younger, I couldn't stop it. But whether to my 40s, it's time for me to grow up. I'm probably about 10 years behind schedule of growing up. So it's time for me to grow up and try to let it go. Okay? We'll talk about letting it go in the next segment. Just let it go.